Good morning.
I'll let you know when somebody gets in here.
Okay.
I'm going to share it to your group. Post it.
About my Facebook though.
It's already going to post on your Facebook.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of quarantine yoga fun. So today's going to be an energetic practice because it's hump day. Not like everybody's at work, but still hump day. Had lots of good comments yesterday, so we have like a whole week's worth of content planned out. We're going to have chair yoga and splits and yen and handstands and headstands, and we have plenty to keep us busy during quarantine. So if there's more things you'd like to do, put them in the comments below. It's still donation, so if you look in the comments below, you'll see where you can donate. And if you have a friend that you feel like might benefit from these yoga practices that we're putting up, I'm also uploading them to my yoga channel. And if you go to Google me, you'll Google Michelle Pugh, but if you put yoga on there, you'll find me because Ozzy Osbourne's hairdresser's name is Michelle Pugh too, and that's what you'll get. I'm not quite as famous as her. How are we doing, cameraman? All right. Thank you guys for joining me today. You might need props. This is a more energetic practice, so it can be harder, but I'm going to give lots of modifications, and if you follow those modifications, you have no problem with some hang time and getting into chaturanga, going a little quicker. I'll make sure that you know what's coming ahead so that you can modify accordingly. You shouldn't need blocks. You will later this week, but not today. So we're about to get started. How are we doing on time? All right. Let's make it to our mats. Thank you. I'm going to try to keep up with the comments a little better today. Good morning, everybody. Alicia, it's so nice to see you on there. Hi, Lisa. And Kim, everybody. All right. So we're going to just take a few moments to get grounded. We're not going to do our normal seated warm-up this morning. We're going to do a more energetic sun salutation warm-up. But being grounded, setting an intention, and finding your breath is so important before you ever start a practice. So we're just going to get seated. Lots of people are still joining because it's 9. Good morning, Brandy. So in this seated posture, we're just going to get comfy. People are still popping in. So we're just going to focus on some nice breath here. We're going to inhale and exhale through the belly. And we're just observing the breath. The more you try to watch it and see what it's doing, the more it'll want to change. So just breathe. Good morning, Phil. Makes me smile. Phil has 2 pugs, and I'm sure they're going to do yoga with him this morning. Nice, full breath. Now maybe we can lean forward a little and lean back a little. And as you start to lean back, you're going to feel the weight come down into the pelvis. And so you're going to play with that just a little bit until you can find that perfect alignment of the spine being over the hips. You can feel the sits bones pressing down. And just kind of let the chin come down. Feel the breath. Good morning, Ruth. Oh my goodness, we're practicing from Puerto Rico this morning. And Palacios, good morning. Buenos dias. We're also practicing from Chile this morning. That's awesome. Yay. Good morning, Leanne. All right, we're going to let that right ear come over towards that right shoulder. Just checking in with our neck. Left ear, left shoulder. back to the center. So here we're fine-tuning. We're letting the breath connect the mind and the body together. And we set the intention of the practice. And maybe that intention is for the next hour, 45 minutes, however long this practice takes. We're not going to worry about the stuff in the house. We're not going to worry about if we're going to get sick or not going to get sick, if the house is dirty. What's going on outside your mat is on pause. We find the breath. And then set that intention of you want some flexibility or some strength. Maybe you want to dedicate your practice to someone who needs it. Maybe you're dedicating your practice to yourself. Your time is your most precious commodity. You're going to open those eyes, lace the fingers together, pressing out, lifting up. Good morning, Jessie. Thank you for being present. Yawn, yawn. And we're going to gently release, turn to the right. Just a little bit of time here, still in the beginning as people are signing on. Nice big stretch. I'm feeling the work that we did yesterday on our twists. Let that left shoulder come down, right hand comes up. And slowly we're going to come back up. And come back to the center, hand comes out and up. And gently turn to the left. Nice tall spine. Find that breath. Still feel connected to the sits bones. Maybe you still do this little bit of a play where you can lean forward and lean back. We're going to let that right shoulder come down. Left hand comes up. Nice big stretch here. 3, 4, 5, and slowly we come back up. I'm going to come back to the center and lean forward. Nice big stretch here. Remembering to breathe. And this is about all that we're going to do here on the floor until the end. So I know we have this nice warm-up that we like to do, or my students like to do. But everything about today's practice is very much energizing. So the rest of this floor work, or this grounding practice, we're going to put at the end, using it as a cool down, and that way you feel much deeper and connected to the floor when you get ready to take rest. So we're going to slowly come up, and you're going to take your time to come to hands and knees. So we're going to come to hands and knees, and just see if we can sink right back into child's pose. Now we'll be here just a little while. So if you feel like your knees need some blankets or some towels, you can put those under your knees. Nice full stretch here. So everything about today's practice is about energizing, getting the energy flowing in the body and being active. So we're going to do some sun salutations, but we're going to try to start doing them here on the floor. So we're going to do a really fun version of it on our hands and knees. So from here we're going to inhale all the way up. And then from here we're going to exhale back down, but don't let the arms lead. Let the arms stay by the ears as you slowly send the butt back. This gets a little hard. If you have to put those arms down, do. And sink down, working back in arms. We're going to inhale up to table. And then from table, knees, chest and chin. Let that booty slowly come back down. Small cobra. So when you're going through a sun salutation A or a vinyasa, they all have those same elements. The elements of chaturanga, knees, chest, and chin, or up dog and down dog. And so we're trying to keep a lot of those elements here. We're going to let the chest come down. And then slowly press to table, from table to down dog, bending and stretching. Lengthening through the spine. Now fill in that lower back so there's a pelvic tilt. So I'm exaggerating here. So that navel comes in and you tuck that tailbone under, lengthening through the arms but broaden through the back. Biceps come away from the ears. Where's your breathing? And we're going to try that one more time. Now that you kind of got the hang of it, we're going to put those knees down and then come into child's pose and rest. Maybe that was a lot for your hands. You're going to open and close those hands. Nice rest here. And let's try it again. We're going to inhale up to table. Nice twist. We're wiggling around. Just this little break in between. Whacking that tail. And back to that neutral spine. Back down into that child's pose. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, try to keep those arms by the ears. Use your breath to help coordinate the body. As you come to the floor, inhaling up to table. Exhaling down, that knees, chest, and chin. Let that belly come all the way down. Soften those feet. Tops of the feet are on the floor. All 10 toes touch. Inhale. Small cobra here. Try to lift with the chest. Don't push with the neck or the arms. Keep those elbows in. And slowly come back down. From there, we're going to use those hands. Press to table. From table, down dog. Bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Lengthening through the spine, filling in lower back. Now that we're in this down dog, we're going to play with this a little bit. We're going to let that right leg come up. We're going to bend the knee, open through the front of the hip. Try not to let the shoulders rotate here. Try to keep the shoulder square and only twist in the hip. 3, 4, 5. We're going to let that right foot come down. And let that left leg come up. Bend the knee. Open through the front of the hip. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put that foot down. Maybe a little bend and stretch. We're going to put those knees down. Come back into child's pose. Maybe your hands are feeling a little tight this morning. So you can open and close those fingers. Maybe some wrist rolls. And we already start to feel the warmth. So from here, we're going to get a little more active. We're going to make it to our feet. So we're going to come to table. And then back into down dog. And then from down dog, we're going to make those steps to come forward, fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. And release. So we're going to do some sun salutations and some active combinations. I'm going to give you plenty of modifications. We had a lot of comments about that yesterday, that they appreciated the modifications. Your sun salutation may be slower than mine, and that's okay. The whole point of this practice is for you to breathe and for you to move. And this is me giving you permission to only do what you can. So I'm going to try to call those things out for you. We're going to come back to the front. Inhaling up. Exhale. Forward flat back. Forward fold. We're going to step back into a plank. Now the first time through, I'm going to do knees, chest, and chin. That's the modifications. So you put those knees down because your arms are a little tired or your hands are tired. Chest or chin. Your booty sticks up in the air. You look like an inchworm. Elbows are back. Then you let that belly come down. We're going to soften those feet. Tops of the feet, all 10 toes press. Lift the chest, keeping those elbows in, opening through the heart. This is cobra. We're going to let that chest come back down. And then from there, we're going to press to table. And from table to down dog. Bend and stretch. Maybe up and down is hard for you today. Maybe for your practice today, while you're practicing with me, you do the forward fold and down dog, and then step back and forward fold with us. That's fine. You got up, you showed up, you moved. That's important. Just remember to breathe. We're going to bend those knees, look forward, step forward, fingertips flat back, lengthening through the spine. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Let's try that again. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Fingertips flat back. If you can't touch the floor for this, that's fine. You can put your hands on your shin. There's always a modification. Just move and breathe. Now, from here, we're going to step back to plank. I did the modified last time, so here we're going to come into Chaturanga Dandasana. You can do knees, chest, and chin here. Upward dog. You can do cobra here. That's what we did last time. Find your breath. Turn those toes, maybe one at a time, maybe both at once. And you're going to come back into that down dog. Maybe a bend and stretch because your ankles or your toes still aren't very warm yet. Lengthen through the spine, fill in that lower back. Find your breath. Feel connected. Very rarely do we touch the floor, or any surface for that matter, where both the palms and both the bottoms of the feet touch at the same time. We're going to bend those knees, look forward, step forward, fingertips flat back or that half back position with your hands on the shins. Forward fold. And we're going to inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Rest it out. Feel the temperature and the texture under your feet. Your feet have the same ability as your palms to feel temperature, to feel a roughness. By thinking of those things here, it helps bring awareness to the feet, and that's going to aid you to feel rooted and really grounded and connected to your mat. We're going to do one more sun salutation and then move into our active flow. So we're going to come back to the front of the mat. Remember, whichever modification worked for you, whether it's a forward fold and then down dog or a knees, chest, and chin, it's your practice and it's okay. We're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to step back into that plank. Remember, you can do knees, chest, and chin here if you prefer. I'm going to do Chaturanga. Inhaling up into that up dog. Feel that work in the palms and in the back. Slowly rolling those feet, coming into down dog. Bending and stretching, lengthening through the spine, filling in lower back. Feel connected through those hands. Bend those knees, slowly coming forward. Fingertips flat back, maybe it's half back for you. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. And walk that out. Maybe you're opening and closing the hands. Some students have some arthritis. So we're just going to try to get those working. We feel temperature and texture under the feet. Now we're going to get into that energizing practice. Our first posture is crescent. Let me remind folks that crescent is on the ball of the foot. Warrior one is grounded. So we want to be on the ball of the foot. We have several students who have some issues with their feet and some plates and screws in their ankles. If you have to put that down, put that down. That's okay. Just as long as you understand the intention of where the practice is coming from today. Slowly, we're going to come back to the front. Let's start. Have some fun. Inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold, we're going to bend the knees. We're going to send that right foot back. Now, if you have a hard time balancing, if you spread these feet further apart, the balance will be a little easier. Maybe come to the knee first. That helps with your balance. Lifting pelvic floor, pulling navel in, and lift those hands up. Good morning, Celeste. Nice tall spine. So this is our crescent posture. Push through that back heel. Lengthen and broaden the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're going to move with this today. So we're going to let the hands come forward and back. You're not resting your belly on the thigh. You're coming down beside the thigh. Now press through that left foot, squeezing left glute, come up. Feel connected through the feet. You have to do this posture. Where's your breath? Let's exhale it down. But let's inhale it up. Squeeze left glute, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Come up. Lifting pelvic floor. That's Mula Bandha. Exhaling last time. We're going to come down. Hands come back. Inhale, come right on up. A lot of work. So we're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to let the hands come down. And we're going to put that right knee down. You might want to blanket under this knee if your knee is sensitive. Use this other knee again to help you lift. Now notice we've made this same position, but on the floor. Lift. We feel the connective tissue all along that right side of the body open. We're going to lean in a little bit, really feeling the front of right hip open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let the left hand come to left knee, right hand comes down. Rotate and let left hand come up. So I'm trying to stack my shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let that left hand reach behind. You're going to bend that right knee, grab the foot. See if you can lean in deeper. Maybe you can't grab the foot. That's okay. Wave at it. Be like this. Good morning, foot. Again, personal practice. Move and do what you can. 4, 5. We're going to gently release that foot. Let the hands come back forward. So we're going to try to come down to the elbows. Maybe it's one elbow for you. Maybe it's two elbows. Maybe it's neither. You do what you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to slowly start to come up. And we're going to shift back. Lengthen. Nice squaring of the hips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. We're going to slowly come back forward. We're going to bring left leg back. From here, knees, chest and chin. Let that whole belly rest down. Soften the tops of your feet. Feel pressure. All 10 toes. Feel that work. Lift and extend through the crown of the head. Cobra here. Keep those elbows in. Where's your breath? Soften your face. Feel connected through the floor. You can definitely feel your belly breathing against that mat. Let the chest come down. We're going to press to table. And slowly come to down dog. Bend and stretch it here. And we're going to let that right leg come forward so we can work on crescent on the other side. We bring right leg forward. Now remember, if your balance was off, widen this stance. We're connected through the ball of that back foot, really grounded through this right foot. Maybe you come to knee first to check your balance. Then lift those hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to move with this. That's that fun part. We're going to come forward. That's an exhale down. Hands come up. We're going to squeeze that right glute and slowly come up on an inhale. And if your breath is off, that's okay. Just keep moving. We're going to exhale forward. Hands come down and up. Press. Inhale to come all the way up. Last time here, exhale, let those hands come down and back. Inhale, let those hands come back up. Good work. Now we're going to make it down to the floor again. So we're going to allow those hands to slowly come down to the floor. We're going to let that left knee touch the floor. Maybe you have a blanket or something under that knee. Slowly lift maybe to the knee just to check in to see what your hamstring psoas is going to do. Lift those hands up. Really feel that connective tissue on the left side strengthen and lengthen. Try to lift pelvic floor. That's that Mula Bandha. Pull navel in. That's Uddiyana Bandha for those of you who practice with bandhas. 3, 4, 5. We're going to let that left hand come to the floor. Try to stack your shoulders first and let that right hand lift. 1, 2. Really lean into it, opening through the front of hip. 3, 4, 5. We're going to reach back. Maybe we can bend and grab the foot. Maybe not. Smiling is always important. 2, 3, 4, 5. We release. We're going to bring those elbows down. So in the beginning, we just put those hands down. Maybe the left elbow will make it to the floor. Maybe the right elbow makes it to the floor. We feel that work through the hip. 3, 4, 5. We're going to slowly come up. Shift back. Lengthen through right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we shift forward to take any tension out of that knee, we bring right knee back. Palms are flat for table. Turn the toes. Down dog. We bend and stretch here. Checking in with the feet, with the hands, making sure the body's good. Always take that time to body scan and breathe. We bend the knees, looking forward. We step forward, fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. And walk that out. So in our practice today, we're going to make sure that we have a little fun in between each combo. So we're going to do chairs in between each combo. And we are going to borrow a chair from the Bikram practice today. They don't call that chair, they call it awkward pose, or Utkatasana, which is chair. But in English, they call it awkward pose. So we're going to allow those arms to come forward. Not all the way up, but forward. Like you're going to jump off a diving board, perhaps. We're going to bend those knees, send the hips back. Bend the knees, send those hips back. We're going to tuck in that pelvis and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press down through your feet, which is helping you feel connected to stand as we come up onto the balls of the feet. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Press down to the balls of those feet to come up. Knees come together. Heels come down towards the floor, but just hover. And come down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. Soften those feet down. Soften those arms down. Walk it out. Feel temperature and texture under the feet. Maybe you check in with your neck, right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. Back to the center. Let's work on our next combination. Really getting deep into the shoulder this time. Inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Feel connected either to yourself or to the floor. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to bend those knees. Send that right foot back, but we're going to ground that back foot. We're going to cartwheel up into Warrior 2. Now with Warrior 2, we're going to work on the shoulders a little bit. So we're going to turn the palms up like you're holding 2 platters. And we're going to try to roll those arms until the palms come back up. But resist the temptation to hunch. If you feel like your body has to do this, then only roll as far as it will go before your spine starts to do that. Eventually this gets better. So let's start for real now. Here we go. Roll through and release, that's 1. Roll through and release, that's 2. Roll through and release, that's 3. Well done. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let this left elbow come down to the floor, or the knee, but we're going to let this right arm dangle a little bit. It's easier on the shoulder if you come into the posture from here and lift than if you brought the arm over. So let's try that. Let's let that right arm dangle. Remember, right knee or left knee goes left. Don't let it rotate in. And we're going to bring that arm up. We're going to see if we can gaze up towards fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now from here we're going to make it down to the floor. We're going to bring right hand down to the floor. We're going to turn to the ball of that right foot and send that left foot back. Knees, chest, and chin are chaturanga. And lower to floor. Lift up into a nice cobra. Here's where we're going to change it out a little bit. We're going to let that chest come down. We're working on arms. We're working on serratus anterior and side body. So we're going to roll to our left side. And we're going to stack our feet. Now, the first thing that we're going to do here is just lift the leg. So I want you to see that all I'm doing is lifting this leg. I keep this foot parallel to the floor. We're really working on this outside of the hip. These are the abductors. But notice that when you lift, there's a lot of pressure here on the floor. It's because you're allowing the floor to help prop you up. It's going to change in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and put that foot down. So now we're going to try a side plank with that forearm. Make sure that the elbow's under the shoulders. Let this right hand help you. We're going to press to come up. So we have this side plank. Right arm lifts. You can stop here. If your butt didn't make it off the floor, fine. You do what you can. Now, if you can, see if maybe you can lift right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put the right leg down, hip down, hand down. Come to the belly. Rock it out. So let's try the other side. We're going to rotate to the right. We're going to put that right forearm down. We're going to do the same thing. We let the left leg lift. We're working through the outside of that hip. That space, this is the abductors. There's more muscles than that, but the group is the abductors. 3, 4, the foot is parallel to the floor. We're not pointing the toe. 5, we put that foot down. We press through the arm. Make sure that that elbow is under the shoulder. We press to lift. Left hand comes up. Maybe you lift the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right comes all the way down. Hand comes down. Come to belly. Oh, catch your breath. Maybe a little wiggle here. That's always the time that we get distracted in our home practice, is when it gets hard like that. You're like, oh, I think I have dishes to do. Nope. You're on the mat. We've got this. We're going to press to table, from table to down dog. Bend and stretch. Lengthen through the spine. Fill in the lower back. Nice full work here. 3, 4, 5. We're going to bend those knees looking forward. We're going to step forward. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Inhale up. Hands come down. And then walk that out. So we feel those feet. We connect to the floor. Temperature, texture, maybe wrist rolls. All right, now we're going to do another chair posture. So we're going to come back to the front. And this time we're not going to do the arms first. We're going to send the butt back first. So we bend the knees, send the butt back. But we're not going to sway that back. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, pulling navel in. If you're aware of your bandhas, which we can have as a complete separate class, you're going to lift pelvic floor, so really tighten through pelvic floor. And then you're going to activate through the lower back. So here's what we typically do. This is what I would like for you to do. So bend the knees, send the butt back. Bend the knees, send the butt back. Now we're going to lift those arms as high as you can get them. Don't compromise your back. However far that your arms get before you start to compromise, that's when you stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come to the heart. Right elbow comes to the knee. Nice rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the arm straight out. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Left elbow comes to right knee. Look at right elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to the center. Extend those arms up. Press down to come up. Hands come right back down. Walk it out. Temperature and texture. Last little bit before we make it to the floor. We're going to step to the front. We're going to bring the hands to the heart. We're going to step out to the right. We're going to work on our triangle posture. We're going to turn those right toes out. We're going to lengthen and tip. So maybe your hand comes to your thigh. Maybe it comes to the shin, ankle, floor, or toe, depending on how you practice. Hips forward, shoulders back. Looking up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press down to come up. Turn right toes in, left toes out. Lengthen and tip. Again, maybe it's the thigh, the shin, ankle, floor, or toe. Depends on how you practice. Hips forward, shoulders back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We press down through the feet to come up. Turn those toes back in. We're going to turn right toes out. We're going to lunge as if in Warrior 2, teaching modified triangle. We did this yesterday as well in the series that we're in. Left hand comes down. Begin to slowly straighten right leg and rotate right arm up. Now this is a modified revolved triangle. You can keep the bent knee. The most important part is this hand staying on the floor. If you have that full practice, That right leg would be straight, left hand travels over, then right hand comes up. Hollow out belly, lifting pelvic floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let that hand come down. Soften that right knee, protecting it to come up. Let's finish up on this side. We're going to bend the knee, but we're going to let that right hand come down. Again, this is the most important part. This is your connection to the earth. We're going to try to straighten your left leg. Maybe it won't. Your hip is like, not today. Well, then you do what you can. So if it's a modified posture, it's here. If you have the flexibility and can do that full posture, you're going to place on the outside, nice straight leg here. Flat pelvis. Top arm lifts. Hollow out the belly, lifting pelvic floor. 2, 3, 4, 5. We let that top hand come down, bend that knee, slowly come up, back to center. We're going to let the hands come behind, rolling those shoulders back, lifting up, opening through the heart. Forward fold, hands come up. Press down and out through those feet. Let the heels of the hands be together, and that's going to better protect those shoulders. Let the head drop and look through. Nice full breath here, pressing down and out with the feet. If you press down and out with the feet, hollow out the belly, and then try to press your heart through. You don't have to try to force your hands to the floor. They just go along for the ride. We don't want to overforce those shoulders and try to make this pose happen. We're going to let those hands slowly come to the hips. Bend the knees. Slowly rolling up. Release the hands. We're going to turn the toes to the left. Take a really big step to the front. If you had to take 2 steps, that's okay. We feel temperature and texture under the feet. And we're going to step out, hip distance apart, and we're going to come into a squat. But I'm going to turn and face you so it's going to be easier to see, but you can stay in your same place on the mat. So we're going to come to this space, and we're going to come into a squat. Feels pretty good on the hips. It's nice and balancing. We're going to let those hands come forward, let the booty come down, come into a cobbler's pose. Nice tall spine. Feel the work that we've done. Maybe check in with your neck. Try the other side. And now we're going to lean forward. Try to extend through the crown of the head. Lengthening through that spine as you come forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. We're going to bring those knees up, cross, roll back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just switch those arms. And nice big stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring those knees in. We're going to reach down, grab the right foot, extend that leg up. Nice tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let that foot come down. We're going to switch it over, and left leg lifts. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let that foot come down. We're going to drop the knees over to the left. Sitting up nice and tall, letting right hip sink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees up. We're going to switch to the other side. Tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees back up. Extend those legs. We're going to lengthen forward. Nice big stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. We're going to take this right leg, place it over the left. Lengthening forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. We're going to put the foot next to the knee, rotate to the right, tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to the center. Grab this foot and rock it out. Feeling that hip really release. 3, 4, 5. We're going to place that foot on the inside of the thigh. Right hand comes behind. Press down to come up. Lengthen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That booty comes right back down. We're going to take this right foot, place it on the thigh. So maybe you're at the knee. Maybe you can come in deeper, closer to the hip crease. We're going to lift that knee up. Maybe you're here. Maybe you can let that right knee come down. Tall spines, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Extend those legs. Nice little bounce. So we want to do something that will help us balance this out in between the sides. So we're going to put the hands behind us. Fingertips forward. We're going to work on Eastern plank. So you see that my fingertips are towards my glutes. They're about 12 inches behind the glutes, maybe 10, depends on your arm length, Jessie. And slowly come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to slowly let those booties come back down, maybe a little bounce. Open and close those fingers. We're going to let the left leg come over the right. Lengthening in, grabbing that foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we come up, foot comes next to the knee. Rotate to the left, tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to come back to the center. We're going to rock that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to place that foot on the inside of the thigh. Left hand comes behind. Press down to come up and lengthen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let that booty come right back down. Again, the foot comes onto the thigh, so maybe it's near the knee, maybe it's near the hip crease, but we just don't want the ankle to go past the leg. We really want to get into the hip, and from this angle you can tell that more that the ankle goes across, it closes off the hip. We want to open it up. So you see this much wider. So again, near the knee or hip crease, and lift up. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're able to get that knee down. Tall spine here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Extend those legs. Nice little bounce. So last time we did Eastern plank to even it out. Here we're going to do a wide angle. We're going to bring those legs apart. A little slide here. Slowly come forward. So maybe this is you coming forward because your hamstrings are like, no. Then that's forward. Just be mindful not to be forward this way. It's not about your head getting towards the floor. It's about the navel coming towards the floor. So we have a nice tall spine. And then see if the navel will come forward. Be active in your feet. Maybe you let the hands help you guide. Slowly making your way. Nice big stretches. 3, 4, 5, you're breathing at home. You're feeling connected through glutes and legs. And you want to take your time to come back up too. You took your time to come down. Slowly we come back up. We're going to grab the backs of the knees to help them come in, coming into that cobbler's pose. Nice tall spine. Knees come together as we get ready to recline. So from here, we're going to roll back gently. Now, as you roll back, you may get that upper thoracic back adjustment. If you like that, you can always cross your ankles, and you can do that a little bit. It tends to feel pretty good. And this is what that would look like. Really helps in the upper thoracic area between the shoulder blades. You don't have to. It's just fun. And we're going to bring those arms out to the side. We're going to drop those knees over to the left. Really feel the changes in the body from our active practice today. 2, palm is up. See if you can get that right shoulder to come down. 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring those knees back to the center and over to the right. Nice big stretch here. Feel that work. 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring those knees back in. Now, we want to try to work on the hip a little more. We just did a seated posture, and it was a modified Maryasana B. But we're going to try that here. It's also sometimes called reclined pigeon. We're going to take that right ankle and place it on the left knee. And we're going to see if we can pull that left knee in. Notice that my left foot is active. This is that same posture we just did seated. Feels so much different here because we're able to really focus on the alignment of the spine. Do what you can. Find your breath. Same thing applies here. Keep the foot on the thigh. Don't let the foot move past the thigh. 3, 4, 5. We're going to gently release and just switch. Put left ankle on right knee. Pull right knee into the chest. We're activating this right foot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to gently release that, putting the bottoms of the feet flat on the floor. We're going to press down through the feet, lifting the booty up. So we have that contraction in the glutes, lifting the belly. The hands can completely stay right here, depending on how you like to practice bridge. Maybe you're able to lace the fingers under, roll those shoulders under. Nice tall spine. We're keeping those legs parallel. 3, 4, 5. If you have those shoulders rolled under, if the hands are together, you're going to release the hands, unroll those shoulders, and we're all together going to see if maybe we can roll one vertebra at a time down until the spine is flat, and then windshield wiper those legs. Taking your time to do that. And then you're going to stop, and we're going to extend one leg and then the other. And we're going to practice some breathing here reclined, because you're going to feel the rib cage in the back. Press against the floor in breath. We're going to inhale a large inhale with sound or without. But when you exhale, you're going to exhale out with a ha. So it's going to go like this. Inhale. Ha. Inhale. Exhale. Ha. Let's try it again. Inhale. Exhale. Ha.
and release. If you felt like you got a coughing fit because of that, that's good. We're stirring up stuff in the lungs. This is definitely a time period in our lives where we need to have healthy lungs. We need to be aware if we're breathing fully or if there's anything that's constricting that breath. And 3, 4, and 5. We're going to switch the awareness now. We're going to let that back body sink to the floor and the top body sinks down on back body. I'm going to sit up while you guys get comfortable. This might be a time where you add in blankets or bolsters, or you make the kids and the dogs go to another room. Maybe you put on an eye pillow because you feel like it's too bright. We release the feet, the ankles, the shin and calf. We release the knees, the thighs, the glutes, the pelvic belly. We release the lower back and navel, and that's very subtle. You just want to feel like the navel drops a little. Mid-back and solar plexus still feeling connected to the ground. Shoulder blades are flat, and if they're flat, there's this lift that happens in the chest and the heart on the front of the body. Feel that connection. Where's your breath? The collarbones lift, and we have this little release in the hollow of the throat. We soften the face and the jaw. We feel like the scalp relaxes down to the floor. We notice that the breath is shallow. So we're going to increase that breath. We feel that inhale travel up back body. Exhale comes down front body. We use that imagery of aligning the fibers and the tissues of the muscles as we come up. And we smooth and exhale it as we come back down. Inhale, up that back body. We scoop up the things that no longer serve us, worry and doubt. And exhale, let them flow through the bottoms of the feet and out of your body. We feel supported, grounded by the earth. Just by laying here, we feel that the earth rises to meet us. Inhale up that back body, letting it soothe the connective tissues, increasing blood flow, pausing at the crown of the head. Exhaling down front body as you release and soften. We hold that space. In this moment, we have no more work. We just rest. And we can do this. We can do this every day. But we don't typically. So nice full breath here. Inhale up back body. Exhale down front body. Now you can absolutely pause the video and stay here as long as you like. But we're going to start to move those fingers and toes. Maybe shift
just a little through the side body. Maybe a little movement in the neck and jaw. Maybe a smile. We pull one knee and then the other to the chest, feeling that lower back. Really press to the floor, livening up that circulation. And then we're going to roll to the right side of the body. Slowly we come up to a comfortable seated position. Taking your time. And we feel the effects of the practice, of the grounding, of the movement, of the breath, the activity. We're going to slowly turn the head to the right. Slowly turn the head to the left. Back to the center. Hands come to the heart. We remind ourselves of all the amazing things we have in our life to be thankful for. The list is huge. Some days are grumpy. Some days you feel like there's nothing to be thankful for. So find the thing that you're most grumpy about. Maybe it's dirty dishes. But then remember that that meant you had food to eat, and dishes to eat off of, and a sink to put them in, and the ability to wash them, which meant you have clean water. And then the gratitude flows. We send out love and kindness and compassion to those who need it. So many people need it. Those that are sick, healthcare professionals that are making us stay well, family, friends. I'm going to end the practice here with an Om, if you're comfortable. If not, just listen to mine. Inhaling. Bowing forward in respect, namaste. Peace be with you all. Go safely. Thank you for practicing with me and stay well.